Hey, thanks for watching. What I'm reviewing today is the DIY-PC model number DIY-S08. Actually the -W because it's a white case. So basically this is just a computer case. I'd consider it kind of a low budget computer case. I paid $34 for it on Newegg. It was on sale. I think it normally runs around $40. But basically just upgrading my PC at home. So actually building a new PC to upgrade the existing one. So I was looking for a cheap case, so I can spend more money on the internals, like, the processor, graphics card, and everything else, and less money on the case, but I still wanted something that looked good and would get the job done. So one of the things I liked about this was it was a white case. I kind of wanted to do a white build. I just kind of like the looks of the front of it. It's got this like screen thing. Some of the things that detracted me were the writing on the front, but I'm gonna see if I can get that removed. So okay, here it is, getting it out of the box, and looks like it's packaged pretty well, no issues. This did have a tempered glass side cover, so it's a single side cover, tempered glass, and I for $34, it seemed like a pretty good deal to get something with tempered glass. And I've had a couple DIY cases before, and I thought they were pretty decent quality for the price, so thought I'd give this one a try. So here it is in the plastic. It does have USB 3.0 on the top, which is nice. Pretty much your standard basic case. Not too big, but should be able to hold everything I want. I think the power supply I got was pretty big, so hopefully it'll fit in here. There you can see the tempered glass. They did do a little bit of cost cutting, I think, on this case. When I was reading it, it said it came with one fan, so I thought that was pretty cheap. I would have preferred at least, fill the front with fans, have the 3 fans in the front, but it's only got one rear fan, so I guess it depends on your needs. You can see that rear fan right there. Here's the tempered glass, and of course that's probably pretty much where the majority of the money was on this case. Just getting one with a tempered glass. It's got a removable screen on the top, which will be good for dust. Pretty much your basic case. Something about it though, I kind of like the looks. I kind of like that instead of being that solid open on the front, I kind of like this split grill type of look. So anyways, I think it'll look decent in the room. Get some fans put behind there. That's kind of a bummer. So I guess if you buy this case, that's one thing to keep in mind. I don't really like the labeling on here, like where it says DIY-PC. I was kind of hoping it was going to be a sticker or something that I could peel off, but it looks like this is like kind of printed and fused in there. So anyways, I'll still try to get it off, see how it looks. You may be fine with it. That's cool. I just kind of like the plain looking on the front. So, and on the back, it's just, your typical metal. So, only got the tempered glass on the one side. Here you can see the connectors on the top. And on the top, you just got your typical USB 3.0, USB 2.0, and some audio ports, and a power, and a reset button. So again, here's the tempered glass on the side, which is kind of the reason I bought this, was I wanted, be able to see the components inside the PC, which always looks nice when you're building a new case. So let me go ahead and I'll just pop off this tempered glass piece and peel off the protective coating, and then we can look inside and see how this case was built inside. As you can see on that tempered glass, it's got that little black outline around it that kind of will cover the where the screws go in and everything, so it looks kind of nice. It was a nice thick piece of glass. Seems pretty sturdy. Of course, it came not broken, which was good, and looked really clear. So once I had peeled off a little corner of that and looked through it, so I think the glass will be a nice touch. I'm just gonna leave that on for right now, but it does have you can see a vent inside. It's got the single fan, kind of vent inside. By that I mean kind of where that power supply was. So it's got kind of that cover that kind of shows just a little opening of your power supply, then kind of covers the rest. You can see there's no fans in the front, and again, I think that's where they really cut the cost on this. Does seem to have some holes to route cables. Hopefully that'll be pretty decent. You know, overall, you know, nothing to write home about. Seems like it might be a little bit cramped inside, but of course, you know, I wanted kind of a mid-tower case, not a super tall tower, so I think it'll be fine to fit my components in. I'm putting a micro ITX case in, so that should be no problem. My power supply is kind of big. Hopefully it won't have any issues. But overall, I mean, dimensions on this case, I think it was like 17.6 inches tall, and let's see how wide. Pretty much standard, you know, width on a case, you know, 8 inches wide, and about 14.5 inches deep. So, kind of your basic mid-tower case. So one of the things, I'll go ahead and pop off the back here and see how much it's gonna room we're gonna have for everything. But overall, it feels sturdy enough. I mean, you know, cases before you get stuff in it, they always kind of feel a little flimsy to me. You know, the sheet metal kind of moves a little bit, and especially on some of these, you know, cheaper cases. A lot lighter without the tempered glass, but looks like there'll be room in here for, you know, everything I need. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be really a problem. So let me go ahead and pop the back off and we'll check out that side. But so far, everything looks like a decent case, and for 34 bucks, I have no complaints. And I just want to mention it did come with instructions, so if you want to know kind of how the motherboard fits, how the hard drives go in and everything, it's all kind of documented with pictures and a little, like, looks like a one-sheet quick start guide. But I think I'll set that aside and just kind of go ahead and continue on with the build. Okay, so here it is. Tempered glass is still off of it, so you can see the reach in here, but it does have that extra venting, like I said, kind of over the power supply shroud. One thing I do want to mention, it doesn't look like this power supply shroud is removable, so this is kind of, that shroud's kind of in place, so just keep that in mind in case that's something you did want to remove. I'm gonna go ahead and take the back off here, and we'll look at the back side, see what it looks like, see how much room they have in there. Because basically, there you go. You can see that it does have some, looks like some tie-off points, cable routing holes. Looks like the hard drives are going to go in front of the power supply. It's one bracket there. Would have been nice to have maybe another bracket, but for me it's going to work fine. I'm just doing one SSD and one hard drive in here, so I guess I'll put one on the top there and probably one on the bottom. Would have been nice to have maybe some SSD adapters, you know, the kind that kind of mount on the back or whatever. But I guess for 34 bucks, I can't complain. It does come with standoffs already installed, so that's nice. Should be able to just pop my motherboard on there, go to town. You know, feels pretty decent. Feels just like a pretty lightweight case. Be definitely a lot heavier once I get the power supply in and all the components. So, but yeah, I'll probably have to mount one of the hard drives down below here and then one on the top using that adapter. So still works, but I would have liked to have maybe a little extra I like those little removable SSD slots, and it doesn't look like they included those here, like where you can kind of mount your SSD in a bracket and then just kind of use like one screw to screw it on, but I don't see that. So anyways, again, it's going to work for me, so I'll go ahead and get ready to get started installing my components soon. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put some fans in, and basically figured what I was going to use were these Antec F12s, so I just grabbed 5 of these. And again, since this only comes with a single fan in the back, I'll go ahead and pop 5 fans in it. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put the fans on. So I'm going to pop off the front cover. I just kind of got it laying on its back. The slot right there. So I'll get my hands under there. Give it a tug. Man, this thing's on tight. Let me look on the inside here real quick. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything bolted on. It's just, man, that thing is tight. Oh, I'll give it another solid pull. Hit something on the bottom there, that bracket. I'm gonna go ahead and just try it this way. Get both hands in there. Okay, that seemed to be the trick. Wow. Let's see what this thing looks like. That thing was on tight. These clips, they did pop off. None of them are broken. So that thing was just on there super tight. So anyways, it's upside down. Here's what you can see now. So I'll go ahead, put my fans on, go from there. One thing I want to make sure I mention, there's a fine mesh on the backside here. When I was looking here, I didn't think so. I thought that was just going to be letting all the dust in and everything, but there is a mesh back here that should catch it. So, you know, I can pop this off in the future and always blow it out. I'm assuming it's going to come off a little easier in the future now that I got it off that first time. But just want to mention that. Okay, my OCD got the best of me, so before doing those fans, I decided that I was just going to use one of these magic erasers. I don't know who makes those. You can find them those at the grocery store and stuff. But basically, see if I can get this lettering off. So anyways, probably be time consuming, but it does look like just slowly rubbing this thing over, it does slowly take off a little bit of that layer. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of scrub this for a bit, and while I'm listening to some music, and just kind of see if I can get all the lettering off the front. Just a personal preference. So let me see how it looks when it's done. So I'll come back and post that real quick. Okay, here it is after I kind of finished up rubbing that for a while. I do want to mention it did change the texture a little bit. Where I was rubbing it, it's definitely a little bit smoother. You can still see the lettering faintly in there, but I'm happy with it so far, so I'm just going to give up, because when I kind of stand this up, you don't really notice it that much, and you don't really notice that texture change either. At least I don't. Maybe if the sun was hitting it just right, you might notice it, but I'm happy with the results, so I'm just going to go with it and be happy. Okay, I got my fans installed, and I kind of installed them on the outside, and it looked good, but as you can see here, that when a front cover was on, it was kind of pushing against the fans. You can see it's not flat. So what I ended up having to do is take the fans off and mount them on the inside. Now, I don't think these fans were any thicker than a normal fan, so I kind of consider that a downside on this case. But overall, it's still working fine with the fans on the inside, and I still do have enough room. Now, this might be an issue if you're using RGB fans and you want that ring to show. If you're mounting them behind the case like I did here, they might not show up. So keep that in mind, because I usually do mount these fans on the outside of the case. I just wanted to show the kind of the tolerance of a bigger video card in here. Here's an RTX 3080, and you can see that it was a pretty tight tolerance. RAM's kind of tight there too, I just noticed, but that's just due to the motherboard and everything, so not due to the case at all. But it can fit kind of a larger video card in here too, which I thought was pretty nice, and that's with the fans mounted on the inside. So it also fit an 850 watts power supply. So overall, I'm happy with this case. The cable's routed decently. I was able to remove that lettering off the front I wanted, and I think it looks really nice and clean. I probably won't have these RGBs turned on. For me, I'll just have it dark, but you know, you can have it on, and it does look kind of neat. No issues with this besides really the fans kind of pressed out on that front case, and I probably could have left that, but anyways, I didn't like seeing it bent like that, so I kind of moved them on the inside. Well, that's it. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch the video, and I hope you found it helpful if you're thinking about purchasing this case. If I missed something that you wondered about it, just go ahead and hit me up in the comments below, and I'll go ahead and answer them the best I can. But overall, I'm happy with the case. The corners inside were rounded for routing the cables and everything, so that worked. Really no issues except for kind of how I had to move those fans onto the inside, which I probably could have left again, but is what it is. So anyways, thank you very much for watching, and if you like it, go ahead and click like. Subscribes would be awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks.